Justice Society of America, issue 5. Geoff Johns writing with Mikel Janin and Jerry Ordway on the art. So, we've been having some gaps between this issue, which is unfortunate, but yeah. But
I was gonna say, I forgot where we left off on this because it had been a minute.
Well, I mean, very quickly, it's like, oh, Helena went to talk to Batman. Yeah. Okay, I'm in. I know where we are. Yeah. Let's just go.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, shoot, what's going on here? I had to try to remember the Degaton stuff and everything that we had learned. But once it gets going, we're good to go.
Yeah,
within the first few pages.
To be fair to Johns, he does do that thing where he knows there's not going to be a recap page, so he has the narration, and like that's why people used to always joke that Green Lantern always started with, "My name's Hal Jordan, and I'm Green Lantern of Sector 2814." This book does that. It's like, "My name is Helena Wayne, and I am the daughter of blah blah blah, and I came from the future, blah blah blah." Like it explains the basics. It recaps you on the basics, so you can get going. It mentions Degaton, and we get into it, and she tells Batman about the future. She hugs him even. And is like, yes, you're going to die by this man you've not even met yet, blah, blah, blah. And interestingly, by the end of the issue, her future's gone, right?
Yeah.
They beat Degaton. I was surprised by that. It happens this issue. But I guess we are 6 issues, or 5 issues in, rather, out of 12. Yeah. So we've got more stuff to do. And she's sticking around. But she's now like a paradox where her future that she came from doesn't exist, but she's here now anyway. So... which is neat from a continuity point of view because we don't have to worry about Batman and Catwoman having a daughter at any point. It does make me very fascinated though to see like her interact with Damian at some point because she's kind of a sibling.
Yeah. He's going to be so upset because his best friend now is like a bunch older than him. And now he's going to have a younger sister that's older than him.
Yes, who's an adult. And, and not only that, I kind of want to see her meet... Helena Bertinelli as well. I already meet other Huntress and like have like a Huntress like maybe discover why she took that name specifically. Maybe there was like a bit of a fangirl kind of thing going on there. I don't know.
I do like though that they compare her to Power Girl, right? As this kind of lost character who can make their own future. Is because she's Kara Zor-El from Earth 2. Yet and now you have. Yeah,
and they've been tied together before in like JSA and Earth 2 stories as this particular type of Huntress and that particular type of Power Girl.
Yeah, and so the fact that now Power Girl is going by Paige and through all the Leah Williams stuff, it makes me hopeful that they can do something similar with Helena and really make her stand out.
Yeah, so the JSA show up, and almost immediately Degaton shows up, and we get all these different Degatons from different parts of his timeline, all coexisting at the same time.
I love it because we get them being able to beat up a Nazi child. It's Degaton coexisting across time, and we get the first one we see is like a younger version of himself, coming through, right, to face.
Well, he's like, I don't know, 30 or whatever,
Well, I mean, because the kid one.
No, he's not first though. We don't see him till after.
He's not first. Okay.
Because it's just like the regular one we've been seeing, and then it's like a bunch of adult versions who are all shown up to fight the JSA. The young kid shows up, where Stargirl and Jakima are, because they're trying to find something from Degaton's past that they can use as a MacGuffin, basically, an artifact that'll let them, let Dr. Fate and Madame Xanadu do something with it. And sure enough, this kid Degaton shows up, and I love that he's wearing the exact same clothes as the adult Degaton is. But yeah, we basically get this big fight with the GSA fighting all these Degatons. We see kind of like glimpses through like Degaton sort of beams it into I think Xanadu, and Xanadu beams it to everyone else in the GSA, but we see kind of like his vision of what timeline will be like when he gets rid of the GSA. So you see like the past, which is a bunch of Degatons around like the circular table. You see the present, which is a bunch of Degatons and like this like military police basically like hanging up all the Bat family and the Outsiders. And then the future is a bunch of Degatons just having everyone killed, basically. Yeah. So it's like this really dark timeline. But it's mostly action. There's a great full-page spread of all the JSA in the middle here. It's got the JSA of the past, the present, and the future. Yep. And then when they win the fight, they all sort of fade back into their own parts of the timeline. And Stargirl shows up with the MacGuffin thing, and basically they can't kill Degaton because of his weird timelessness quality, but they can trap him in the snow globe from the Time Masters.
Yep.
So he actually gets trapped with Flashpoint Batman and Martha Joker in the snow globe. That's where he's trapped.
That's where he belongs. You know, Dr. Batman will keep him in line. You know?
Yeah. So they acknowledge after this that this effectively has done something to the timeline. Like some of their history has changed, but they're not sure what yet. And sure enough, the big cliffhanger is that Stargirl shows up with Our Man and Jay's daughter. Setting up, of course, the special and some of the stuff we're going to do in the back half of this. So this is finally that Stargirl mini affecting things.
Playing in the Lost Children, you know, they are found. And yeah, I really liked the JSA's Across Time segment.
Yeah,
that was really a high point.
This really felt like the final issue of a Geoff Johns arc, because it's a lot of action, some big 2-page spreads. Mikel Yanon's art is gorgeous throughout, so it's really easy to just enjoy it because it does all look great. Also, you've got this really sad part right before that though, where Helena's like wondering, okay, I'm stuck here now, but like, you know, do I form a relationship with the Batman who's here, because I don't get to, you know, I never really got to know my dad that much because he died when I was young. And then, but she sees that Batman says she can't stay here. Like, Batman's like distancing himself from her, which is a bit bittersweet. And it's like, you can kind of probably understand why he's making that choice, that it's this weird relationship that he doesn't want to deal with, that it's murky. So I do wonder though, is she here now in present continuity for the long haul, or is it just till the end of this book? I'm very curious about that.
I would be willing to guess till the end of the book, because I feel like this is her book in the way that it used to be Stargirl's when Johns wrote JSA.
Yeah,
you know, so we're gonna see everything through her point of view. So I feel like when this is end, they'll find a way to get her back, and when she returns, she'll be better off for it. From
like
JSA.
I said, I want to see her meet Damien. I want to see her meet, you know, regular Huntress from the Birds of Prey. I want to see her meet Catwoman. Obviously, that should be an interesting meeting if they have that. All these potential scenes of her interact, or even the other Bat family, just her hanging out with the Batgirls for like an issue and having them ask all these questions about Batman's future, and you know, like probably just thinking it's cool that Batman's got a daughter, and like, oh, you're so much better than Damien. I mean, the jokes practically write themselves.
I can see Steph going so you went with Huntress and not Batgirl. I like it.
Oh yeah, maybe Babs will be like, wait, why Huntress? Why not Batgirl? Like, you know, you it's sitting right there. Like, why not? Or Batwoman even, you know. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential interesting like dynamics to having her interact with various characters. But it's interesting though that the Degaton plot's done, and that we're now dealing with you know, the missing kids and like timeline like messiness. So I'm curious to see where we go from here.
And I wonder how much Judy's going to go in, because we know that Jeremy Adams is doing the mini with Jay and Judy.
It's just a special, not a mini, I think.
Oh, okay. So it's just a special. It's not a mini.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we will see more of that type of stuff play out here. And then I do know that the Green Lantern one, that special, is going to have to do with the Russian Red Lantern?
No, I think that's a mini.
Okay. Either way, I flipped them or whatever.
There was like 2 or 3 books announced in the last solicits that were all mini-series, I think. But I'm pretty sure there's a Jay Garrick and his daughter one that's just a special. You're making me doubt myself now, but I think it is.
I thought they were all minis, so but either way, I know that so I wonder how much of the stuff that John set up early on, like with the Russian Red Lantern and Judy Garrick and all this, is going to play out here in JSA, or is this now just going to become a JSA focus book, and we're going to see, you know, how that's going to play in with what, because King's playing with some JSA stuff too with Wonder Woman, right? Like we're getting some new, or am I confusing different storylines?
King's interested in a daughter. I don't know if we're getting Golden Age stuff.
Maybe what was the Golden Age stuff was in Snyder that never came out, right?
Yeah, that was built into 5G, which never.
Yeah, that's what I'm confusing it with. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm just happy to have John's writing JSA again. And like you said, this was very much a John's story capper with the way that it goes, and there's just, you know, big feel good moments. like the arrival of the different Justice Societies across time. But yeah, really enjoyed it.
Jay Garrick, The Flash issue. Oh no, that is a mini.
That's what I thought.
But I think there's a special as well. I'm sure there's a special coming before that. Well, someone confirm in the comments. I'm sure there's a special coming before that.
Either way, with the way that Adams handled the Flash family, I'm excited to see Jay and Judy in there if we don't get them here. You know what I mean? So at least we know that that's coming down the line.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll pop up soon. If I'm right,
Sweet.
there's definitely, but there's a mini. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's one of the two minis. We're getting the Flash one and the Green Lantern one. Anywho, it is interesting to see that stuff expand, and I'm excited that it is having an effect on some regular continuity. It's not just like in its own little JSA corner, you know. By having Adams do the Judy stuff with Jay and so on, I do appreciate that. It's feeling like it's not, because you know, Doomsday Clock was fantastic. Not everyone agrees with that, but we thought it was fantastic. But it was very much sectioned off by the time it was getting near the end. It was like, okay, the rest of the continuity has just moved on away from it. So I'm glad that this stuff actually can be the status quo for a lot of these characters, and I'm enjoying it. Honestly, this is the best thing Johns has written since Doomsday Clock, I think.
Yeah.
It's fair to say. Because, you know, I don't know who's written for Three Jokers, but...
Yeah. I mean, I like Lost Children, but I think this is a more cohesive story.
Yeah, I like Lost Children, but this is better than Lost Children is. This feels like a bigger deal. Part of it, obviously, as well, is it's got fantastic art from Yannon.
Yeah.
So...
Throwing with his fastball here.
All right, what are you giving GSA issue 5?
I'm giving this an 8.5.
I'll just go to straight 8, I think.
Okay.
But it is really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.